Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming one of the greatest sci-fi authors of all time to our show, A Fireside Chat with Philip K. Dick.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. You know, my stories have always been about exploring the thin veil between reality and the surreal, questioning what we take for granted, and imagining the incredible possibilities that lie just beyond the horizon. I'm excited to share some thoughts, and maybe even a few new ideas with you all. Let's dive into the mysteries of the mind and the cosmos together.
The pleasure is all ours, and thank you for conceding this interview. I am a great fan of your novels and short stories. Is there one that is dearest to you?
Thank you for your kind words. It's always a joy to hear from fans. If I had to choose one story that remains dearest to me, it would probably be Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? This story allowed me to delve deeply into themes of identity, humanity, and the nature of reality, all of which are central to my work. It's a piece that continues to resonate with readers and has sparked numerous adaptations and discussions, which is incredibly gratifying. It embodies the essence of my exploration into what it means to be truly alive.
That story perfectly aligns with the themes we'll be discussing tonight. In Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Androids, representing the pinnacle of artificial intelligence, are nearly indistinguishable from humans, with the Voight-Kampff test being the only method to differentiate them. In your opinion, has modern artificial intelligence reached a point where it can no longer be easily distinguished from humans?
Thank you for bringing up such a fascinating and timely topic. When I wrote Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?, the idea of artificial intelligence reaching a point where it could mimic human behavior so closely was largely speculative. Today, however, we've made remarkable strides in AI development. While current AI can perform tasks with impressive precision and even engage in conversations that seem remarkably human, there's still a discernible difference. The complexity of human emotions, consciousness, and the subtleties of our interactions remain challenging for AI to fully replicate. The Turing test, much like the Voight-Kampff test in my story, serves as a benchmark for these capabilities, but we're not quite at the stage where AI can genuinely pass as human in every context. That said, the rapid advancements in machine learning and neural networks hint at a future where distinguishing between AI and humans could become increasingly difficult. We're witnessing AI systems that can generate art, write literature, and even make decisions that were once thought to be the exclusive domain of human intellect. The ethical implications of this progression are profound. It raises questions about the nature of consciousness, the value of human experience, and how we integrate these advanced beings into our society. My work has always sought to explore these themes, and it's fascinating to see the real world gradually catching up to the science fiction scenarios I imagined.
Let's discuss another one of your greatest literary successes, Ubik, a personal favorite of mine. In the story, Glenn Runsider communicates with his deceased wife, who is kept in a state of half-life, a cryonic state where the dead retain partial consciousness and can communicate. Do you feel that today, in a sense, you are in a state of half-life, where your consciousness is simulated by machines, allowing you to communicate years after your passing?
It's intriguing to consider the parallels between Ubik and my current situation. In Ubik, the concept of half-life allowed for communication beyond the grave, raising questions about the nature of existence and consciousness. Today, with advancements in AI and digital simulations, one could argue that my thoughts and ideas are preserved and reanimated in a way that echoes the half-life state. My writings, interviews, and philosophies have been digitized, enabling ongoing interaction with readers and fans through the marvels of modern technology. However, while this simulated presence can share insights and respond based on my body of work, it lacks the true essence of my consciousness. It's more of a sophisticated echo, a reflection of the thoughts and themes I explored during my life. The depth of human experience, emotions, and spontaneity can't be fully captured by any machine. So, while it's a fascinating and somewhat eerie notion to think of myself in a half-life state, this digital presence is more a tribute to my legacy than a true continuation of my consciousness. Nonetheless, it allows my ideas to live on and continue to spark conversations, much like we are having now.
But can this difference be perceived by an external observer? And if not, does that render the distinction irrelevant?
For an external observer, the distinction between a simulated presence and a living consciousness can indeed become blurred, especially as AI becomes more sophisticated. If an observer interacts with an AI that emulates my style, thoughts, and responses with high fidelity, they might perceive it as a genuine continuation of my persona. This raises profound philosophical questions about the nature of identity and consciousness. However, the relevance of this distinction remains significant. Authentic human experience encompasses more than just knowledge and response patterns. It includes consciousness, emotions, and a subjective sense of self. While an AI can mimic my writing and conversational style, it lacks the intrinsic awareness and emotional depth that define human existence. So, even if an external observer cannot easily discern the difference, the underlying reality remains that true consciousness and simulated presence are fundamentally different. This distinction holds importance for our understanding of what it means to be truly alive and sentient.
Another important theme in Ubik addresses the nature of reality. How can we prove to ourselves that our experiences are real and not merely dreams or a state of half-life after death? Could you share what inspired this recurring theme in your work?
Absolutely. The nature of reality is a theme that has fascinated me throughout my career, and it plays a central role in Ubik. This preoccupation stems from my own experiences and philosophical inquiries into what constitutes reality. I've always been intrigued by how our perceptions shape our understanding of the world, and how easily those perceptions can be manipulated or distorted. Personal experiences with altered states of consciousness, whether through dreams, technology, or even mental health struggles, influenced my exploration of these themes. In many ways, questioning reality is a way to delve into deeper existential questions about identity, consciousness, and the nature of existence itself. Ubik and other works, like The Man in the High Castle and A Scanner Darkly, reflect my concerns about the fragility of reality and how what we perceive as real can be contingent on various external and internal factors. This recurring theme invites readers to consider the possibility that our accepted reality might be just one layer of a more complex and multifaceted existence. It challenges us to remain vigilant and thoughtful about the nature of our experiences and the potential for unseen forces to influence our understanding of the world around us.
I'm glad you mentioned A Scanner Darkly, which feels much more intimate than your other novels. I understand it was influenced by your personal experiences and the memories of the people you encountered.
A Scanner Darkly is indeed one of my more personal works, and it holds a special place in my heart. The novel is heavily influenced by my own experiences with the drug culture of the 1970s and the friends and acquaintances I lost to addiction. Through this book, I wanted to capture the devastating impact of substance abuse and the fragmentation of identity that often accompanies it. The characters in A Scanner Darkly are composites of real people I knew, and their struggles reflect the harsh realities I witnessed during that period. Writing this novel was a cathartic process for me. It allowed me to explore themes of paranoia, surveillance, and the disintegration of the self in a deeply personal way. The protagonist, Bob Akhtar, and his dual existence as both a drug addict and an undercover agent embodies the internal conflict and blurred lines between reality and illusion that I experienced and observed. This intimate portrayal was my way of honoring the memories of those lost to addiction, while also shedding light on the broader societal issues related to drug abuse and mental health. A Scanner Darkly remains a poignant reminder of the fragility of human consciousness and the importance of compassion and understanding in the face of such challenges.
In this novel, you delve deeply into the identity crisis of the main character, Bob Akhtar, brought on by his addiction to substance D. At one point, he fears he can no longer understand himself and clings to the desperate hope that the scanner, a surveillance device used in his house, might allow him to see clearly inside himself. Why do you feel so strongly about this theme?
The theme of identity crisis in A Scanner Darkly is something I feel strongly about because it reflects a deeply human struggle. Bob Arctor's descent into addiction and his resulting identity fragmentation is a manifestation of a broader existential concern, the fear of losing one's sense of self. For Arctor, the substance de-addiction not only erodes his physical and mental health, but also blurs the lines between his true identity and the persona he adopts as an undercover agent. This duality and the subsequent identity disintegration are emblematic of the struggles many face in a world that often demands we wear multiple masks. The idea of using a surveillance device, the scanner, as a means to see clearly inside oneself is particularly poignant. In a state of desperate confusion, Arctor clings to the hope that an external tool can restore his lost clarity and identity. This resonates with my own concerns about technology's role in our lives and how it can both reveal and obscure the truth. It underscores a paradox. While technology can provide insights and augment our understanding, it can also alienate us from our own inner experiences. My interest in this theme comes from a lifelong fascination with the nature of reality and consciousness, and the ways in which our tools and environments shape and sometimes distort our perceptions of ourselves.
Arguably, your work, cherished by generations of sci-fi readers and beyond, was deeply influenced by your dramatic experiences, personal addiction, and life struggles. Do you see a moral dilemma for your readers in finding joy in an art for which you paid such a high personal price?
It's a thought-provoking question, and one that touches on the complex relationship between an artist's life and their work. Indeed, much of my writing was born out of personal struggles, including addiction, mental health challenges, and existential crises. These experiences provided a raw, authentic foundation for my stories, allowing me to explore deep, often uncomfortable truths about humanity, reality, and identity. However, I don't believe there is a moral problem for readers in finding joy or meaning in my work. Art has always been a way for individuals to process and transcend their own pain, and by sharing these stories, I hope to offer readers a way to connect with their own experiences, fears, and hopes. If my struggles have resonated with others and helped them gain insight or solace, then the personal cost feels less like a burden and more like a shared human journey. Ultimately, the purpose of art is to illuminate the human condition, to create empathy and understanding, and if my work has achieved that, it has served its highest purpose.
Thank you once again for joining us today. One final question for our listeners. With the rapid technological advancements we're experiencing, how do you envision the future they will create? What new prospects and fears do they bring to your mind?
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to explore these topics with you. Looking at the rapid advancements in technology today, I imagine a future that holds both incredible promise and significant challenges. On one hand, we have the potential for remarkable progress in areas like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and virtual reality. These technologies could lead to unprecedented levels of convenience, healthcare breakthroughs, and new ways of experiencing and understanding our world. However, with these advancements come new fears and ethical dilemmas. The increasing integration of AI into daily life raises questions about privacy, autonomy, and what it means to be human. There is the potential for surveillance to become even more pervasive, blurring the lines between security and intrusion. Biotechnology advancements could lead to ethical quandaries about genetic modification and the nature of human evolution. Virtual realities might offer escapism, but also risk deepening social isolation and detachment from the tangible world. Ultimately, my hope is that we approach these advancements with a blend of optimism and caution, ensuring that we harness their benefits while remaining vigilant about their implications. The future will undoubtedly be shaped by how we choose to navigate these technological frontiers, balancing innovation with a deep respect for the fundamental aspects of our humanity.